Today, we're going to be talking about overrated horror movies. Now, I already know you're going to piss me off with your picks. I don't know any of your picks, but I already know you're going to piss me off.
So my first one is Hereditary. Now, there's so much love for this film. Came out 2018. It's Ari Aster's sort of, everyone calls it a masterpiece. Look, it's visually stunning. It's got great performances, particularly from Toni Collette. But ultimately, it's quite a bit of a snowfest. You've got that great scene with the girl and her head gets chopped off. Spoiler alert, it's a bit of an old film now. And I watched it last night to make sure that I still felt like it's overrated because I hadn't seen it for a while. And that scene is so disturbing, and you know it's coming, and you see the lamppost coming. But I think everybody is sort of seduced by that scene. The rest of the film after that is fucking boring. Oh my God.
Jenks,
It's got quite a
you
good
have
ending, but I
you
was
have
quite
never
bored.
been so off with your views. Oh my God, Jenks, you think everyone is seduced by Hereditary just because of one scene of a young
One
girl being
scene
beheaded?
and the performance of Toni Collette.
You are
Yeah.
mental. That is a top class movie from start to finish.
No.
It is a masterpiece. I think it'll go down as one of the greater movies of this decade. Or did it come out in the 20s?
It
Just
came out
before?
2018.
There we are then. Okay. It'll definitely go down as one of the standouts. It's definitely going to be a movie that people keep going back and watching. And there's a reason Ari Aster is still making big movies.
And
Jenks,
that's why it's overrated.
No. Jenks, you're way off with this one, pal.
Yeah.
Way off.
No way.
I'm changing my picks now to movies that you absolutely love. Hereditary overrated. You're mental.
Come on, what's your pick?
Right, so my first pick is one of your favourites, Jenks. There's a shame you still haven't got the poster up on your wall because it would have been even sweeter. And it's Babadook.
It's just out the shot, that's all.
Babadook.
Mental.
I wouldn't say I hate this movie, but I just don't care about it. I've seen it once in cinema. I know you've been telling me for ages to give it another go.
Yeah.
I can't be asked. Life's too short to watch films I didn't enjoy the first time. It's not like I was 12 when I watched it first and I didn't understand it. I was old enough to realize what I like and what I understand in movies. And I'm sick of great horror movies being held hostage by some sort of underlining, what's the word, Jenks?
Sort of kind of mental health sort of angle. Yeah.
And that's the thing that pissed me off the most with this movie is that they created a really cool monster. Now, not everyone has to be Freddy Krueger and churn out nine sequels, right? But they had a really cool concept on their hands. They had a really cool monster, and I feel like they wasted it on this movie. The kid in it, unforgivable, Jenks. That kid is horrendous. Now, I get what they were going for. They need to show us how frustrated this woman is and how much she's struggling and why she has manifested this monster. And her kid is one of the main reasons. Her partner isn't around anymore. He's died, and she's now stuck with the most annoying kid in the world. If the actor is watching this, I apologize. I'm sure you're a nice guy. And I'm sure you were told to be that annoying, right? But we don't have to go through that, and I don't have to go through it, so I choose not to watch it. This movie is still talked about. I really dislike it.
I love this movie. I do get everything you're saying. I take it all on board, but you're wrong. This is one of my favorite movies, and I put it on for my 14-year-old daughter, thinking that she'd find it boring. She loved it. So you're wrong.
Right. Because a 14-year-old who doesn't have a horror podcast knows more than me.
Right. My next pick is Barbarian. Came out 2022 again.
I thought you were going to say Babadook then.
Imagine I did. Same points.
Yeah.
Look, again, I don't hate Hereditary, and I do not hate I was just saying Babadook. But you put it in my head now. Barbarian. Look, this film came out 2022, and it was the trailer showed us. It's a lot of misdirection in the trailer. So it shows Bill Skarsgård where there's like a double booking on a sort of a Airbnb scenario, and he looks like a sinister. He's saying, "Oh, we double booked. Oh, do you want to come in and make a phone call and we'll straighten it out?" And he seems sinister. And then again, I don't really like giving too many spoilers because some
No,
people
don't
haven't
give too
seen
much
it.
away about this one.
But I have to give a little bit because otherwise I can't do the review. So then it turns into something like a cross between People Under the Stairs and Hills Have Eyes, which I love those two films. But I
Yeah.
wanted the Bill Skarsgård Airbnb movie. I was robbed of a brilliant idea.
Yeah, but why
And
though, Jenks? Stuff like that have been done so many times.
it's not just the concept was changed. It was the execution. I didn't like the monster as such. I thought it was ridiculous. He was way too strong and overpowered. He's almost like supernatural. And what happens in the end, I won't say it, is so
Are you
stupid.
are you sure you like it? And you like what's going on?
Look, I don't hate it, but I hated the ending. The ending was horrendous. I think
I'll
most people do not like the ending.
I'll say my piece on this one, Jenks, and we'll move on to my next pick. Barbarian is top class. I
Top
absolutely
class.
love that movie. Yeah, so this is probably one of the first times I've witnessed, right, where the producers weren't scared not to give anything away in the trailers. They give us that short, sweet trailer. We don't know anything about the movie, and I went to see this one completely blind. And obviously, like everyone else, I was shocked as the film unfolded. I love this movie. I've gone back to it multiple times. You're dead wrong.
I would have rather the producer show the ending, the other half of the movie, and us have a little treat of have the Airbnb story because that they should make that film because it's a great concept.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's a surface level horror movie that's almost been done a million times.
What's your next pick, you grumpy bastard?
Right. I knew this would be a hard video for me to film. I knew
Come on, I'm getting angry. Say it.
Right, so my next pick is one of your favourite movies from last year, Jenks. Strange Darling.
It was my favourite movie of last year. My favourite. I absolutely loved it.
Like you said with I can't even remember what picture you had. I've blanked them from my memory, right?
Barbarian.
Like you said with yours, I didn't hate it. I just went in with these big expectations because everyone was talking about it. I remember going online and all these big celebrities were coming out of theaters and raving about it, so much so that they were posting on their socials saying, you need to see this special little thriller. And at that point, because I love independent movies, I love smaller movies, and I love discovering movies that aren't blockbusters.
Yep.
So I went in with relatively high expectations and it just didn't deliver on anything for me. It started promising. It felt like a Tarantino movie. You had that great old-fashioned look to it. You had the chapters. I love Kyle Gallner. Can't remember the actress's name.
Yeah, it's Wilmer or something. I can't remember.
I'm just being bitter now. But I just didn't care for it, Jenks. I feel like they wanted to structure the narrative in a way where it made it look like it was one way, but it was the other way.
Yep.
People who have seen the film will understand that. I butchered it a little bit, but because they keep bouncing between chapters, so they'll show you chapter 8 and then go back to chapter 2 and then chapter 9 and then chapter 4. It just completely took me out of the movie. You get these great adrenaline-fueled scenes, and then it cuts back to them two sitting in a car for 10 minutes, and then it cuts back to a really fast-paced scene, and then it cuts back to them sitting in a bedroom for 10 minutes. It just took me out of the film. Now, I wish they had just kept it straightforward and they had a linear story, because it just doesn't work for some movies. Tarantino does it brilliantly. He did it great in Pulp Fiction. For me, it didn't work in this movie.
I think you're wrong on all accounts. I loved every bit of it. I think she was one of the best. She had one of the best performances of the year. I absolutely loved it. I wish I could say more about the plot because, like, I was talking about this film today with somebody, and I couldn't even say what the story was. I'd explain it was all out of sequence. But yeah, I love this. I wish you'd watch it one more time because I remember when you watched it and you were full of cold. And it can mess up your taste.
mild cold, very mild.
I remember watching Gladiator full of cold, right? And I thought, oh, I didn't like it. Watched it again, then still shit. No,
Still shit.
No, I loved it. Right, my last pick, my top pick. I haven't really put them in order, but gun to my head, this is my top pick. You're gonna again. I don't hate this film. I quite enjoy it, and it's Child's Play. Came out 1988. Directed by Tom Holland, and it's The Birth of Chucky. Now, again, I'll say it again. I don't hate this film. I hate fucking dolls. They're shit. Now, I get there's a kid in it and the kid is threatened by the doll, but the mother struggles with the doll as well and the babysitter. And it spawned 7 fucking movies. It spawned a remake and a TV show that had 3 seasons of a fucking doll. Oh my God. Like, it's so ridiculous. I hate it. I cannot stand Chucky. I just don't understand that some horror characters die straight away, like Jeepers Creepers, 2 films and he's done pretty much. This guy keeps still going. It's fucking crap.
What's your beef with Chucky, Jenks?
I just-
Jesus Christ, you
honestly,
unloaded a lot of hate there, mate.
I am. I don't get it. I know I'm outnumbered. I obviously
Yes.
am outnumbered, but it is the ultimate
Hey.
overrated movie.
Jenks, gingers need to stick together. Come on. You can relate to him. You know his struggles, what he's been through.
Rant over. Move on. Next. What's yours?
You didn't even talk about the film. You just slagged Chucky off.
I did. And look, I may be picking on the first one because it's the first Chucky film, but I just don't like dolls. And this is the most famous one. And I just don't get it. I've seen it twice in my life. And every time I've seen it, I'm like, whatever.
I'm a big fan of the Child's Play franchise. It's something that I've loved since I was a kid.
Yep.
There's a lot of shit sequels. I can't stand Seedy Chucky. I don't like Kurt. Cult or Curse.
You're Kurt.
There's a lot of them that are shit. I'm not a big fan on the third
Yep.
one. The first 2, I think, are solid movies. But the first one, Jenks, is a really good, gritty horror movie. And I think it's overlooked by the fact that Chucky has become oversaturated, kind of like what's been done to Freddy. I feel like some of the early movies have been overlooked, I suppose, by horror snobs because of how oversaturated the franchise has become. But Child's Play 1 alone is a horror classic, gents. I think it's a fantastic movie. But
it is a good film.
You're allowed.
But it's overrated.
You're allowed your opinion, all right? Right. So my top pick, and I know all 3 of these would be modern movies, and the next one I'm picking is again another movie from last year. But until I started this podcast, I didn't look at movies the same way.
Yep.
So now I critique movies more and I look into it more. So any movies from years ago, I wouldn't have cared that much about it if I didn't like it, and I wouldn't have thought about it again, right?
Yep.
So I've got Long Legs, Jenks, from last year. Now, this was my probably most anticipated movie ever.
100%. Banging on about it all the time.
Oh my God. I was there from the start, right? From those first teasers that they dropped. I was so excited for this movie. It was so ominous and creepy. They didn't give us any details about the plot, but we got these really creepy images. And it was at the point where you didn't even really know about it.
No.
You weren't following any of the stories coming out on it, and I was always banging on about it. The anticipation leading up to this movie was just destroyed within the first half hour, Jenks. I feel like even before the story got going, there was something missing for me. I didn't get on with Harker at all. I didn't connect with her. And I'm a big Micah Monroe fan.
Yeah.
I'll be somber while I'm giving this review, Jenks, because I'm genuinely gutted that I didn't adore this movie.
Somber.
I'm definitely 100% going to give this one another go, right? As soon as I get my hands on it again, I'll give it another watch. But I was so disappointed leaving cinema with this one. I feel like they underutilized Nicolas Cage and his character Longlegs, to be specific. Now, what I thought he was going to be and how scary his presence was going to be on film was vanished straight away. I just wish they did something different with this movie and kept it more straightforward. I don't like what they did towards the end when they went a different way. I wanted it to be a bit more grounded. There's stuff in there to like, but ultimately, this was probably the most disappointed I've ever been leaving a movie.
So I watched it and I liked it much more than you. I didn't love it. I give it a solid 4 stars. I haven't gone back to it. My wife watched it the other day. She didn't like it. She thought it was boring. I liked him in it. I liked the ending. I didn't mind the ending. I'm not going to say the ending because it's still too new.
Yeah.
But Nicolas Cage was brilliant in it. He was very disturbing. I get a lot of the criticism. I think you mentioned it before that, they're not even afraid of him in the shop. When that scene in the trailer when he goes, wow. And when you see that scene play out, it's not the same as the trailer.
Yeah, the girl is just like, there's a young girl at the counter and she's like, oh, Dad, that creeps you again. Yeah. And I'm like, he should be the most terrifying presence ever. Look at
Yeah.
that face, right? It's terrifying. Nicolas Cage is great in it, right? Nicolas Cage is great in everything he does. I love the guy. It's just the movie as a whole just let me down. I didn't feel one ounce of dread throughout the whole movie. But I'm looking forward to giving it another shot because I want to love it. This is a movie that I really want to love.
Yeah. Right. Have you seen those films? Do you agree with if they're overrated or not? Drop a comment. And if you enjoy horror, if you like rankings, please subscribe and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.